Nostradamus, the 16th-century French astrologer and physician, is famous for his book, Les Prophecies, which contains quatrains often interpreted as predictions for the future. However, Nostradamus did not specifically date his predictions, so interpretations for specific years, like 2025, are speculative. Interpreters of Nostradamus's quatrains have suggested that certain prophecies could be linked to events in 2025, but these are based on broad interpretations and not direct predictions. This will include a more detailed examination of the possible global conflicts, natural disasters, technological changes, economic challenges, health crises, and political upheavals that could be linked to his predictions. If you believe that you will receive luck despite the possible challenges that might happen in year 2025, please comment this. I embrace 2025 with courage and resilience, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Luck, strength, and success guide me through every obstacle, bringing abundance and joy into my life. Before we get into the video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Now let's begin. Number 1. Global conflicts and war. Nostradamus's quatrains have often been associated with predictions of war and conflict, particularly those involving major powers. One such quatrain that is frequently interpreted in this context is, "From the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop, his fame will increase towards the realm of the East." This quatrain has been historically linked to the rise of powerful leaders, often with a focus on figures who have sparked significant conflict. For 2025, interpreters might speculate that this prophecy hints at the emergence of a charismatic leader in Western Europe who could play a pivotal role in global affairs, possibly leading to a major conflict or war. The realm of the East could be interpreted as a reference to tensions between Western countries and Eastern powers, such as Russia or China. In this context, 2025 could see heightened tensions between NATO countries and Russia, particularly in Eastern Europe, where geopolitical struggles over Ukraine and other regions continue to simmer. Alternatively, this could relate to rising tensions in the Asia-Pacific region, where the influence of China continues to grow, potentially leading to conflicts over territories like Taiwan or the South China Sea. Another quatrain that is often cited in discussions of war and conflict is, "Twice put up and twice cast down, the East will also weaken the West. Its adversary after several battles chased by sea will fail at time of need." Some interpreters believe this could refer to cycles of power struggles between Eastern and Western nations. For 2025, this might be interpreted as a period of significant military engagements where Western powers face challenges from Eastern nations. The adversary chased by sea could imply naval conflicts, perhaps involving disputes in the South China Sea or the Persian Gulf, regions known for their strategic importance and potential flashpoints for international conflict. Number 2. Natural disasters and climate crisis. Natural disasters are a recurring theme in Nostradamus's quatrains, with many interpreting his verses as warnings of catastrophic events. One quatrain often associated with natural disasters is, "The sloping park, great calamity, through the lands of the West and Lombardy. The fire in the ship, plague and captivity, Mercury and Sagittarius, Saturn fading." This quatrain is sometimes linked to earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or even asteroid impacts. The reference to "the fire in the ship" might symbolize a disaster at sea, such as a massive oil spill or a naval catastrophe. For 2025, this could be interpreted as a prediction of a significant earthquake or volcanic eruption, particularly in the lands of the West, which could mean Europe or the Americas, and Lombardy, a region in Italy. Given the ongoing concerns about climate change, this quatrain could also be seen as a reference to the increasing frequency and severity of natural disasters exacerbated by global warming. For 2025, this might involve devastating wildfires, floods, or storms that impact regions across the globe. The plague and captivity might be interpreted as the aftereffects of such disasters, leading to mass displacement, disease outbreaks, or social unrest. Another quatrain that is often linked to natural disasters is, "The earth and air will freeze a great water when they will come to venerate Thursday. What will never be as fair as it was, from the four parts they will come to honor it." Some interpreters believe this quatrain might refer to a catastrophic climate event, such as a new ice age or significant climate shift. The Great Water could symbolize the melting of polar ice caps or a sudden freeze affecting global weather patterns. For 2025, this might be interpreted as a major climate crisis that leads to dramatic changes in the environment, affecting agriculture, economies, and human survival. The idea that what will never be as fair as it was suggests a permanent and irreversible change, potentially linked to environmental degradation. Next up, technological advances and artificial intelligence. Nostradamus's quatrains are often seen as prescient warnings about the dangers of technological advancements. One quatrain that has been interpreted in this light is, "The great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt. An evil deed foretold by the bearer of a petition. According to the prediction, another falls at night. Conflict at Reims, London, and pestilence in Tuscany." This quatrain has been interpreted in various ways, with some seeing it as a prediction of the assassination of a world leader, potentially through advanced technology like drones or cyber warfare. For 2025, this could be interpreted as a warning about the misuse of technology, possibly involving artificial intelligence or cyber attacks leading to significant political or military consequences. The mention of pestilence could also suggest the spread of a bioengineered disease or the use of biological weapons. Another quatrain often associated with technological change is, "The new form of man will be made through art, in the machine, the spirit will be found. In the next age, new rules will be made, Saturn in Sagittarius, Mars warming." This quatrain is frequently linked to advancements in artificial intelligence and biotechnology. The new form of man could be interpreted as a reference to human augmentation or the creation of AI that mimics or surpasses human intelligence. For 2025, this might be interpreted as a period where significant strides are made in AI, possibly leading to the creation of AI entities that challenge traditional notions of humanity and ethics. The phrase, "in the machine, the spirit will be found," could be seen as a reference to the development of AI with human-like consciousness, or perhaps the integration of human minds with machines, leading to the concept of transhumanism. This might also be interpreted as a warning about the potential dangers of such technologies, including loss of control over AI systems or ethical dilemmas surrounding human enhancement. Number 4. Economic turmoil and financial crisis. Nostradamus's quatrains often allude to economic instability and financial crises. One such quatrain is, "The copies of gold and silver inflated, which after the theft were thrown into the lake. At the discovery that all is exhausted and dissipated by the debt. All scripts and bonds will be wiped out." This quatrain has been interpreted as a prediction of hyperinflation, currency collapse, or a major financial crisis. For 2025, some might interpret this as a warning of a global economic downturn, potentially triggered by factors such as excessive debt, the collapse of major financial institutions, or a breakdown in global trade systems. The copies of gold and silver could symbolize paper money or digital currencies, suggesting a crisis of confidence in traditional financial systems. In this scenario, 2025 could see significant economic challenges, possibly involving the collapse of a major currency, a global stock market crash, or widespread economic instability. This might also involve a shift in the global economic order, with emerging markets or alternative financial systems, like cryptocurrencies, challenging the dominance of traditional economic powers. Another quatrain that might be linked to economic turmoil is, "The rich will die many times over, conquests, bloodshed, and unexpected deaths." The naysayers will not want to hear it, their power taken from them through a long night. This quatrain could be interpreted as a prediction of a significant wealth transfer or economic upheaval, where the rich and powerful lose their influence. For 2025, this might be seen as a period of social and economic revolution, possibly involving widespread protests, changes in government, or the rise of populist movements challenging the established order. The long night could symbolize a period of economic depression or hardship, leading to a re-evaluation of global economic systems and power structures. Next up, global pandemics or health crises. Nostradamus's quatrains have often been revisited during times of health crises, with some seeing his predictions as warnings of pandemics or widespread disease. One quatrain frequently cited in this context is, "The great plague of the maritime city will not cease until there be avenged the death of the just blood, condemned for a price without crime, of the great lady outraged by pretense." This quatrain has been linked to pandemics in maritime cities, potentially referencing cities with major ports or trade hubs. For 2025, this might be interpreted as a warning of another global pandemic, possibly involving a new and highly contagious disease emerging from a major city with significant international connections. The reference to "the great lady outraged by pretense" could symbolize a failure of public health systems or political leaders to adequately address the crisis, leading to widespread consequences. Given the ongoing concerns about zoonotic diseases and the potential for new pandemics, some might speculate that 2025 could see the emergence of a novel virus or the resurgence of an existing one. This could lead to global health crises, similar to or even more severe than the COVID-19 pandemic, with significant impacts on public health, economies, and social structures. Another quatrain often linked to health crises is, "The great wind will cause the siege to fail, through the South Sea a course of earth shall be seen. The fleets of Mars, war, shall round it, the plagues, floods, and great tribulations." This quatrain could be interpreted as a prediction of widespread disease, plagues, coupled with natural disasters, floods, and war. Fleets of Mars. For 2025, some might speculate that this prophecy suggests a global health crisis emerging alongside environmental and geopolitical challenges. The great wind might symbolize the rapid spread of disease via air travel, while the South Sea could refer to the spread of illness through maritime routes. This quatrain could be seen as a warning about the interconnected nature of modern crises, how a pandemic might arise in the context of global conflict or environmental disaster, exacerbating the overall impact. The idea of great tribulations suggests that 2025 might be a year of significant suffering and hardship, driven by a combination of health, environmental, and political crises. Number 6. Political and social upheaval. Political instability and social unrest are recurring themes in Nostradamus's quatrains, often interpreted as predictions of revolutions or the downfall of governments. One quatrain that is frequently associated with political upheaval is, "The blood of the just will be demanded of London. Burned by fire in the year 66. The ancient lady will fall from her high place. And many of the same sect will be killed. This quatrain has historically been linked to events like the Great Fire of London in 1666. But for 2025, it might be reinterpreted as a prediction of political upheaval in a major global city. The ancient lady could symbolize a long-standing political institution or leader, suggesting that 2025 might see the downfall or significant weakening of a powerful government or figurehead. In this context, the blood of the just could represent social movements or protests that demand justice, potentially leading to significant changes in governance or policy. The idea that many of the same sect will be killed might be interpreted as a warning of violent clashes between different political or social groups, possibly leading to civil unrest or even revolution. Another quatrain often linked to social upheaval is, "The great Senate will ordain the triumph, for one who afterward will be vanquished, driven out. At the sound of the trumpet of his adherents there will be put up for sale their possessions, enemies expelled." This quatrain is often interpreted as a prediction of a political leader's rise and fall. For 2025, it might be seen as a reference to a major political figure who gains power but is eventually overthrown or removed from office. The Great Senate could symbolize a legislative body or governing council that plays a key role in this leader's rise and fall. The mention of possessions put up for sale might suggest economic turmoil or corruption, leading to a loss of public trust and the eventual expulsion of those in power. This quatrain might also be interpreted as a prediction of a larger social movement, possibly involving widespread protests, political reforms, or even a revolution. The trumpet could symbolize a rallying cry for change, leading to a period of intense political and social transformation. Number 7. Religious and cultural shifts. Nostradamus also wrote about religious and cultural changes, often predicting the rise or fall of certain beliefs or institutions. One quatrain that might be interpreted in this context is, "The religion of the name of the seas will win out. Against the sect of the son of Adeluncatif, the stubborn, lamented sect will be afraid of the two wounded by a Alpha and Omega." This quatrain is often linked to religious conflict or the rise of new religious movements. For 2025, some might interpret this as a prediction of significant changes in global religious dynamics, possibly involving the spread of a new religious or philosophical movement. The religion of the name of the seas could symbolize a belief system associated with maritime cultures or global trade routes, while the sect of the son of Adeluncatif might represent an established religious or ideological group. In this context, 2025 could see the rise of new spiritual or cultural movements that challenge traditional religious institutions. This might involve a growing interest in alternative belief systems, the spread of secularism, or the emergence of new religious leaders. The reference to the two wounded by a could symbolize a conflict between old and new belief systems, leading to significant cultural shifts and possibly even religious conflict. Another quatrain that might be linked to cultural changes is, "The sacred temples of the Roman time will reject the foundations of their Gothic sect, taken over and their sacred foundations, stones and bones to ruin in the future." This quatrain is often interpreted as a prediction of the decline of traditional religious institutions. For 2025, some might speculate that this prophecy suggests a weakening of established religions, particularly those rooted in ancient traditions. The sacred temples could symbolize religious institutions or churches, while the Gothic sect might represent a specific religious tradition or ideology. In this scenario, 2025 could see a significant decline in the influence of traditional religions, possibly due to the rise of secularism, scandals within religious institutions, or a general shift away from organized religion. The reference to stones and bones to ruin might symbolize the destruction or abandonment of religious sites, or the metaphorical collapse of religious authority. Environmental and ecological predictions. Nostradamus's quatrains also include references to environmental and ecological changes, which some interpret as predictions of future ecological crises. One quatrain that is often linked to environmental concerns is, "The dry earth will grow more parched, and great floods when the rainbow is seen. The hands of mankind, many times changed, will find the only food left from the sea." This quatrain is sometimes interpreted as a prediction of severe droughts and floods, possibly linked to climate change. For 2025, this might be seen as a warning about the growing impact of global warming, leading to extreme weather events, food shortages, and shifts in agricultural practices. The reference to "the only food left from the sea" could symbolize a future where overfishing and environmental degradation lead to a reliance on marine resources, possibly due to the collapse of traditional agriculture. In this context, 2025 could be a year marked by significant environmental challenges, including droughts, floods, and other climate-related disasters. This might also involve a shift in global food production, with increased reliance on aquaculture or alternative food sources as traditional crops become less viable due to changing climate conditions. Another quatrain that might be linked to ecological predictions is, "The garden of the world near the new city, in the path of the hollow mountains. It will be seized and plunged into a boiling cauldron, drinking by force the waters poisoned by sulfur." This quatrain is often associated with environmental disasters, particularly those involving pollution or industrial accidents. For 2025, some might interpret this prophecy as a warning of a major ecological disaster, possibly involving water pollution or a chemical spill. The Garden of the World could symbolize a region known for its natural beauty or agricultural productivity, while the new city might represent a modern urban area facing environmental challenges. In this scenario, 2025 could see a significant environmental crisis, possibly involving the contamination of water supplies or the destruction of natural habitats. The reference to "drinking by force the waters poisoned by sulfur" might symbolize the consequences of industrial pollution, leading to public health crises and environmental degradation. Number 9. Technological and scientific breakthroughs. Nostradamus's quatrains also include references to technological and scientific advances, which some interpret as predictions of future breakthroughs. One quatrain often associated with technological progress is, "The great engines will be reversed by the stars, the seas will rise by force of the fire. The pale deaths will be unleashed by the floods, the powerful ones by sea and land are caught." This quatrain is sometimes interpreted as a prediction of technological disasters, possibly involving space exploration or climate engineering. For 2025, some might speculate that this prophecy suggests a significant technological breakthrough or disaster, possibly involving space travel, climate manipulation, or other advanced technologies. The reference to "great engines" could symbolize spacecraft or other advanced machinery, while "the seas will rise by force of the fire" might refer to the impact of global warming or geoengineering. In this context, 2025 could see major developments in space exploration, possibly involving missions to Mars or other celestial bodies. However, this might also involve risks, such as the potential for accidents or unintended consequences of new technologies. The idea of "pale deaths unleashed by the floods" could symbolize the dangers of climate manipulation or other technological interventions, leading to widespread ecological or human suffering. Another quatrain that might be linked to scientific breakthroughs is, "The artificial bodies will mix with nature, and the new species will be created." The light of the moon will be replaced by the power of the sun. And all will change in a time of great rupture. This quatrain is often interpreted as a prediction of advancements in biotechnology and genetic engineering. For 2025, this might be seen as a reference to the creation of new life forms through genetic modification or synthetic biology. The phrase, "artificial bodies will mix with nature," could symbolize the blending of organic and synthetic materials, leading to the development of new species or life forms. This quatrain is often interpreted as a prediction of advancements in biotechnology and genetic engineering. For 2025, this might be seen as a reference to the creation of new life forms through genetic modification or synthetic biology. The phrase, "artificial bodies will mix with nature," could symbolize the blending of organic and synthetic materials, leading to the development of new species or life forms. In this scenario, 2025 might witness significant breakthroughs in areas like gene editing, synthetic biology, or bioengineering, potentially leading to the creation of new organisms or the modification of existing ones. These advancements could have profound implications for medicine, agriculture, and even environmental conservation. For example, scientists might develop genetically modified crops that can withstand extreme climate conditions or create new medical treatments based on gene therapy. The reference to "the light of the moon will be replaced by the power of the sun" could symbolize the transition to renewable energy sources, particularly solar power. This might suggest that 2025 could be a year where solar energy becomes more dominant, possibly replacing traditional energy sources and leading to significant changes in global energy markets. The phrase, "all will change in a time of great rupture," might indicate that these technological and scientific breakthroughs could lead to a period of rapid transformation, with both positive and negative consequences.
Prophecies of space exploration. Nostradamus also wrote quatrains that some interpret as references to space exploration and discoveries beyond Earth. One quatrain that is often linked to this theme is, "The heavenly bodies will appear, aligned, bringing about great upheavals on Earth. New lights in the sky will be seen by all, and great fear will come to the watchers of the night." This quatrain might be interpreted as a prediction of significant astronomical events or breakthroughs in space exploration. For 2025, this could suggest the discovery of new celestial bodies, such as exoplanets or distant stars, or perhaps the detection of extraterrestrial signals. The phrase, "new lights in the sky," could refer to the launch of new space missions, the appearance of new comets or asteroids, or even the discovery of alien life. In this context, 2025 might see significant advancements in our understanding of the universe, possibly involving new space missions to Mars, the Moon, or beyond. The idea that great fear will come to the watchers of the night could symbolize the anxiety or uncertainty that accompanies these discoveries, particularly if they challenge existing scientific or philosophical beliefs. Another quatrain that might be linked to space exploration is, "The fire in the sky will be seen, the spark of the new age will be ignited. The children of the stars will descend, and the old ways will be left behind." This quatrain is sometimes interpreted as a prediction of human space exploration or contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. For 2025, some might interpret this as a prophecy of a major space event, such as the first human landing on Mars or the discovery of evidence of extraterrestrial life. The phrase, "the children of the stars will descend," could symbolize humanity's growing presence in space or the arrival of beings from another world. In this scenario, 2025 might be a pivotal year in the history of space exploration, marking the beginning of a new era of human expansion into the cosmos. This could involve the establishment of permanent colonies on the Moon or Mars, the launch of missions to explore distant planets, or even the detection of signals from extraterrestrial civilizations.
The reference to "the old ways will be left behind" might indicate that these developments could lead to significant changes in human society, as we adapt to the realities of a future where space travel and exploration play a central role.